Hey, what's up, guys? Josh Brikis, BrickDog24 on draft with a couple different things. We have the post week 4 update, and also wanted to kind of go through a few. I did two of the live week 5 to week 12 best ball championship live drafts, so check that out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. I did two live drafts. They took about 55 minutes or so to go through and do the 18 round draft for the week 5 to week 12 ones. 50 grand the first in that. You have to win your week 12 and then move on. So I have 19 of those and just wanted to kind of go through a few of them. Obviously, the Thursday night game happened, and I do have some of those guys that did all right. So you can see some of the standings have changed a little bit here. So we had Cooper Kupp in that one, and actually we can check ownership and see that Robbie Anderson with the bye week behind him is my highest owned receiver. Cooper Kupp, I have 4 out of 19. I would have liked to get him more, but he was going just a few spots ahead of me in the third round every time, pretty much, which is obviously producing great value so far. And again, this week with that being the first one for the $33. So Jamison Crowder's up there as well, also with the bye week behind him. I started taking Callaway recently there, and I got him in the 18th round, and I was taking him a lot. I don't know how bad Landry's banged up with the concussion, and that offense just hasn't really been clicking. Maybe he'll give them a spark in the passing game, and I'm just taking a flyer in 18th round. Michael Gallup is somebody I really like. He was really producing before the injury, and he's already back this week. So I was getting pretty good value on him for a while. His ADP started to creep up when the news came out this week that he was coming back. But so I have a good amount of him. Corey Davis is just, I mean, he hasn't done a whole lot except for this week, but where he's going, it's just almost, you just have to take him almost. So over to tight end, I took a lot of Hunter Henry, hoping that he comes back in a couple weeks. And if he does, that's tremendous value. Most of those 7th round, most of those 7 times that I have him are going to be in the 11th round or later. So if he comes back, that's huge. Vance McDonald also dropping a lot because he was hurt. But I have a lot of combos with him and Mason. And I think I forgot to talk about Deontay Johnson here for the Steelers. Now that he's the number 2, I saw how much they wanted to get him involved last week, even with that early fumble. So I think they're going to continue to do that. And Mason obviously likes and trusts the rookie. So I got him a little more than half in my drafts here. Kittle's a great one to get in this because his bye week's behind him, and he's a top 2 or 3 tight end, even though he hasn't really produced like that yet. I think he will. So running backs, Breida, my most owned in 12 of 19, which is insane. But I like his talent. I like the fact that he had the bye week. Obviously, that's a huge reason why I was taking him. Anywhere from the 5th to 7th round, I think, on most of those. Jordan Wilkins is because Mac is a little banged up. 18th round guy there in Wilkins. Some of them I have Mac, some I don't. But I think he'll be the full-time starter there if Mac were to get banged up. So love Derrick Henry's volume. Duke Johnson, where he's going, I just feel like maybe they're going to start getting him involved. I think I talked about that a little bit on the other video. But I'd like to see him get involved a little bit more. I know a lot of other guys would as well. People were taking him a lot in the preseason when he got traded, and they haven't really utilized him. So Lev Bell, bye week behind him, and a couple other backups with potential to be starters, Reichwell and Gus. I got Tevin Coleman a few times as well. Supposed to be back this week. And then on to quarterback. Mason Rudolph is my highest owned quarterback. He's typically a third quarterback for me. If not all 8 of those, at least half or more, he's my third quarterback. There may be a few spots where, depending on who my other quarterback is, that I have him as a backup. But as a third, you can't really go wrong there. I see a little upside there. And most of the time I have him, I either have McDonald, Deontay, Juju, or all 3 of them. So some stacks there with the Steelers. Sam Darnold with the bye week behind him, and late quarterback as well, and mostly paired up with Crowder and Robbie, and maybe a little Herndon sprinkled in. Matt Ryan, big numbers producing already. Dak obviously going high. I have him early on paired up with Cooper. Um, so I was taking him and Amari early on in these things, and then I stopped doing it. So I have a little bit of that, but I thought he was going too early, so I quit taking him. Brissett's putting up nice fantasy numbers and quietly doing so. So I had to throw him in there. Garoppolo bye week behind him. Russ Wilson last night got us some points. So some of these, I don't know why that says, oh, because everybody's, I don't know. That's weird. Looks like it's not really updated. Don't know. Yeah, it's not updated because look at that one. I have 52 points. I'm in first place in that one, and it says 10th for some reason. So typically they don't update till Tuesday morning around noon or something like that, and it updates the actual standings right here that you can see. So otherwise you have to kind of click in. But we had the Goff Cup combo, and we nailed a Metcalf long touchdown in this one. So off to a decent one-game start there. A lot of stacks I got, and a lot of value on guys that are dropping that were just 4 weeks ago going higher. It was really fun to do these. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of injured guys. I mean, here I have Kareem Hunt. I might have him once or twice, maybe. But for the most part in these things, you don't have any guys that are really hurt yet. I mean, unless you took them. I took Kirk after or before this ankle injury happened. And then these two guys, I knowingly took them what they were hurt. So I taking Hunter Henry thinking he's coming back. But for the most part, you just don't have any duds like you do in the other ones. I'm thinking about not doing as many early like June, July drafts next year because, just because of stuff like this where you have Andrew Luck and McKinnon and Foreman and Lamar, a lot of these guys that are out. Obviously, there's some talk about Saquon coming back next week. I still think it's early, and I don't know why they would do that, but he's a freak of nature, so we'll see what happens with that. But let's take a look at this one. 603 points. I mean, that's a killer. Killer. So, where are we at here? 610 now. I guess I had Robert Woods get a few points. Crazy part is this guy, while going into the week, he got 35 points on Thursday from Wilson and Penny. So I did have a nice lead on him, but obviously with the Russell Wilson performance, he's up in there. So 603 is what I had to start the week. I was in first place there. Looking at the team, you can see why with McCaffrey. But then Jordan Howard had a good week last week. Wentz has done okay. Woods and Juju haven't done much. But I do have Andrew Luck in this one, and I'm going to take a 0 in week 10 unless Andrew Luck would somehow come out of retirement. But Austin Eckler and McCaffrey is the reason this team has jolted to the top there. But yeah, I'm going to get a 0 in week 10 because I have Flacco and Wentz on a bye and Luck retired. So that's going to hurt, but that's a ways down the road. So hopefully we can build up a little lead before that happens. Here's another first place team. This one a little less, 567. Before Thursday's games. Looks like this guy hit some big points Thursday. The guy that's right behind me, of course. Nice team here, except for this dead. I think he's still with the Browns, yeah. So Mahomes, Kamara, Lockett. We do have some duds here, though, huh? Moncrief, Funchess. But look at this. Dalvin Cook, Evan Ingram, Kamara, Mahomes, Lockett. That's pretty solid there. Coming down, we have Fournette. That's a really good team other than a couple dead spots I have. I have Mahomes, Kamara, and Fournette. Lockett, Dalvin Cook in the flex, and Evan Ingram and tight end. Two other receivers are Marquise Brown, and we got Tyreek coming back. So with the combo with Mahomes, and we had Demarcus Robinson. It's a good team to have in first place. Pretty solid. We got guys that are eventually going to be back, like Tyreek, and Joko will be back later in the year. Jamal's out, but he'll be back and getting some points here and there. So this team's not too bad. We got Brady as a backup to Mahomes, but we do have a couple dead spots with McGuire, Funchess, Moncrief. But not too bad. I kind of like that. Tyreek will be coming in there. DJ Moore hasn't done much yet, but not bad for a first place team to keep it going. Let's look at a couple middle of the road teams and then some bottom teams. I was looking at some really bad teams with my buddy the other day. Some teams that we drafted early on that have a lot of dead guys, and they got more guys that got hurt, and just under 400 points is pretty terrible. So this is kind of a middle of the road one with a shot to still creep up in there. We're like 65 behind the top dog here, but we have Ben. But we have Aaron Rodgers. And we got Nick Foles. So Rodgers' bye week is what? 11. So we're going to need Nick Foles to come back before week 11, or we're going to take a 0 in that one. But another miss here. A couple guys that I took flyers on quite a while back I think when he was on the Patriots, like back in July, he was the tight end, and just took a couple late flyers that don't pan out. So hopefully they still are practicing in the weight room, and maybe they catch on with a team at some point. But other than that, 0, and he is the only one other than Ben up here. So I think Juju's all right. Yeah, he's questionable, but he should be fine. Let's take a look at some duds. Some under 400 point teams. I can show you guys. Look at this. 383 points. Oh, man. Well, Adams just got hurt. AJ Green obviously has been out. Njoku's been out. Lacoste is just, doing nothing, so he's useless. Ryan's been good. These guys, okay, but definitely not that good. Let's see. We got Foles is out. Njoku's out. AJ Green's out. Trubisky's out. Deontay Foreman's out. Marquise Lee hasn't really played. Yeah, well, you can see why this team is not doing anything. Wow, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad squad there, guys. So that's why it's in 11th place with less than 400 points. There's another 400-point one. We got Foles again. Got Gurley, who has been getting in the end zone at least. Deontay Foreman and Nick Foles. That's good. Let's see what Landry's status is here. Full participant Thursday. Okay. Drew Brees, Nick Foles. We probably haven't gotten any points at the quarterback, and that's why. Oh, we have Baker. But yeah, that's a hurt one there because Baker's bye week's coming up, and both of those guys, yeah, that team's going to end up in last place. So we'll move on from that one. But just to show you, not all 210 are going to make it, and that's why I do so many, because of mistakes and because of injuries and because of duds and because of just guys that don't pan out. So if obviously if you do more, you have a better shot. It's just you got to hope that the guys that you have higher percentage ownership, that they pan out, and the guys that you're fading don't crush it. So good for me that Eckler has some company in the backfield now, because I was a very low owner on Eckler and he was just killing it. So I'm hoping that he does fall back, because that will certainly help pull back some of those teams closer to me, because I don't have him very much. Here's a 526 that's in third, and a 557 that's in second. So I actually know Steve, but we're neck and neck there, and then this guy's out a little further. So here we do have Eckler, but we also have Gordon, Deshaun Watson, Ridley, Kiki. If Stills is out, that should help. Pretty good here, because I think Freeman's going to get a little better. We'll take obviously a hit with Eckler, but he's probably still going to get in there. We got Connor, Edelman, Brown, Brady. This is a pretty good team. Hunt will be back later in the season. Darnold's pretty much back. Hakeem Butler's dead. We got Deontay, so that's helping. Burton hasn't done a whole lot, but maybe a safety net for Chase Daniel. Darwin Thompson is my highest owned running back, and I just can't seem to get Andy Reid to give him much of a chance over this Darrell Williams. So we'll have to see now that Damian Williams, Darrell Williams, and McCoy. So kind of difficult to get Darwin in the mix, but I hope he does get a shot, because I do own a ton of him. Second place squad here at 557. Another nice looking one. See, it's nice to see a team like that right at the beginning. Like, click on it. I'm in second place. I got McCaffrey and Cook. I have Dak and Cooper as a combo stack. Somehow I'm freaking 50 points behind. Oh, he got 31 on Thursday night. So I was 20 points behind him before that. But or 43, 53, 58, yeah, about that. Galladay, Fuller hasn't done a whole lot yet. Olsen's been nice, nice surprise. I got the Texans receivers there, and I don't have Deshaun Watson. We got Derek Carr. Derek Carr. Looks like we just have Derek Carr and Dak Prescott, but neither one of them are hurt, so it's okay for now. Randall Cobb as a stack, as well as Cooper. We got Carr to go with Richard, it looks like. Jalen Samuels had a good week last week. If Connor were to miss any time, that would be nice. So I don't love the depth on this team, but the starting lineup outside of why they have Kareem Hunt in there. But I guess if we put James White, Allen Robinson, Jalen Samuels, or one of these guys in there, it's a pretty good team. Second place, 557. But let's see what we're up against here. If he's got anything going on, N'Keal Harry's not going to help him out here for a while. Oh, he has Eckler, so I think he should fall back a little bit. He has Cam Newton and Tom Brady, Hill, pretty good team overall, to be honest. Mark Andrews, Ertz, he's got good tight ends. Goff and Brady, yeah, not too bad. Derrick Henry, Hopkins is only going to get better. Yeah, he's got a pretty solid team. That's going to be tough to compete against. All right, let's drop down here. We got a 12 of 12, 380 that has Roethlisberger and Lamar Miller, Tyreek Hill, and a whole bunch of guys that haven't been playing. Lamar Miller, Michael Gallup, Cam Newton. Yeah, completely dead team for the most part. So, it happens, guys. It happens. But if I would have just do like 1 or 2 leagues and then that would happen, oh man, I would hate this. I'd lose so much interest. I would never want to do it again. But the fact that I have 210, I don't even I care, but I don't care. Basically, with this, if you win 1 league, you're paying for 4 leagues. So, $25 entry, you get $100 min cash. You've now paid for that 25 plus 3 dead ones that you had. So, cash, if you win 25% of your leagues, you're guaranteed to break even. Guaranteed to break even if you get 25% of your leagues through. So, what else? Ooh, off his knee, Soto. I am recording this at 12 o'clock on Friday night, and it's 3-1 Nationals with 2 runners on in the 7th. Okay, I'm not going to do a whole lot more here, guys. I don't want the video to be too long. We did the live drafts the other day, but just maybe another team or 2 here. Let's see. I like looking at them too because, to be honest, I can't possibly scroll through all these on my own. So, kind of hoping that I get to see some that I haven't really paid much attention to, and it's cool to look at. Here's a 395 dud ball. Big Ben, Hunt, Thielen, and Juju, who have done nothing. See, now this is a team that looks insanely good when you first drafted, right? Way back in the summer or whatever. Thielen, Juju, and Hopkins were guaranteed my first 3 picks. Hopkins in the first round, Juju, and then Thielen or whatever. And that's 3 really nice receivers to have. All 3 of them have done hardly anything. I think Hopkins had 1 good week, but look at this, 3 bad weeks after the 1 good week. Juju obviously not much, and Thielen not much, even though he got in the end zone a few times. Watson, 2 good weeks, 2 bad weeks. Cousins, nothing. Jalen's been good, but, well, 1 week good. That depends on Connor's status. Jordan Thomas got hurt. Eifert hasn't been doing anything. So, there it goes. Now Cooks is hurt. So, yeah, that team's in trouble. But they're already at the bottom. We don't got to worry about them. We got to worry, like, this is a mini $5 one here, but these are the ones you want to keep an eye on. See if you have a chance to actually win the thing. You know, going into the 5th week, we're sitting in 2nd place, not far out of 1st. And then you kind of look at your team and make sure you don't have any major duds. I got Drew Brees and Andrew Luck. Well, that stinks. And we got Winston on a bye week 7. Brees is not going to be back by then, I don't think, but it'd be nice if he was, because we'll take a 0 in 2nd place, and that will not be good. We have Christian McCaffrey, Gurley, Galladay, Godwin, Evan Ingram, Marlon Mack. Some nice pieces here. But we're going to need to get quarterback in there. Drew Brees in there for week 7. I don't know if that's going to happen. A 0 at any position is a killer. I'm going to look at one more, guys. One more. There's a first place squad in the mini. Nicky Chubb, Matt Ryan. Comboed it up with the running back and the receiver. I don't like how I drafted that, but that could have been a mistake. Sometimes I don't realize I have Ridley or Freeman, and then I get the other one. Kirk just got hurt. McDonald, yeah, some injuries there, but we have a nice little cushion lead there, 50 points almost. McCaffrey, wow, we got McCaffrey and Chubb. I wish I would have taken a lot more Chubb. He's obviously killing it. Chubb and Cook are going in the first 5 picks now, whereas they were going in the 2nd round before the season, so they are monsters. But that's a nice one there, McCaffrey, Chubb. We got a dead one with Ben. A couple other dead spots here. No, not too bad. Not too bad. A couple Kansas City guys that could jump up in there. What's Kirk's status? Out this week, but nothing else. All right, gang. I don't want you guys to get bored just looking at lineups, but it's fun to kind of go through. I'm going to pick a high-scoring $1 million one real quick before I sign off. 568 in the million. 646 now. Wow, look at that. Look at them Thursday pointers. We had the Goff Cup connection in this one. We had Lockett. I don't think Woods will stay in the lineup, but we'll see. Oh, we had Everett. Wow, we got the Rams stacked to death in this one. Goff Cup, Woods, Everett. Wowzers. And we had Lockett in there. 646. We're almost up over 100 here. Approaching at 80. It's a big start to the week. And we have, look at this, Kamara. And this has got to get better. I mean, he's just not really producing to where he should be. So I think that's going to improve. Kamara's a beast. But wow, we got Gerald Everett in this one, and all of a sudden he's coming on strong. Breida with the bye week behind him. So that's nice. Jeffrey Pettis with the bye week behind him. Marlon Mack, who's questionable. Lamar Jackson, who will probably outscore Goff. So we'll end up with that in there probably. He should at least. We got a couple. We got the combo with Marquise Brown. That's why we're in first. We got some nice stuff on this one, and no real major injuries. Knock on wood. I think. Oh, full practice for Delaney. Max questionable. Wow, this is a fully intact first place team with 646 points. Oh boy! All right, that looks good, guys. That looks good. Mega. Oh, there's a mega. The mega is $100,000 at first. It was a $125 buy-in. We only did, I think, 13 of them, and we're in first in this one with 578 and a few extra points Thursday from Gurley. But we are kind of close to this guy here. Let's just check out the squad. Hopkins, good. Gurley, Wentz, good. Galladay, Ridley, this bum. Freeman. We got Goddard and Jordan Reed there. Who's the other tight end? Just Goddard. Oh, the tight end's the weak spot on this team. What's going on with him? We got Eckler, Ryan, McCoy, McLaurin. Is he back yet? Questionable. Hawkinson. Oh, Hawkinson's our tight end. He's banged up. So we might have to roll with Goddard this week, but maybe Hawkinson. That's a nice little mega squad there. Not too many major injuries. And a lot of guys down here that aren't showing up top here. I kind of like this squad, guys. Kind of like it. My chances with that one. All right, I'm signing off, guys. Oh, yeah, we kind of already went through. I have a lot of these tomorrow. I got 8 drafts tomorrow. All day long, different times. They only take 5 minutes, but I have to make sure I keep up on all these. These are 2nd and 3rd rounds for the weeklies. I am done with the hype train unless they change it back next week. I'm doing 0 of them this week, and I don't think you should be doing them either for what they did to it. You gotta, I mean, the reason I like these weekly things is because you only got to beat either 3 people or 5 people in the 6-man. Now they got the hype train as an 8-man draft. That means you got to beat 7 people just to get on to the next round, and then you got to do that 4 times. You got to beat 7 people to win the prize, which is now $2,000 instead of $4,000. So, not a fan. I told them about it. We'll see if they change it next week. I told them, I said, I've been maxing these every week. I'm not doing any of them this week. Not that they're going to miss my, 6 entries, but, just a little feedback. But the 1st and 10, I'm maxing every week. The 3rd and short, I'm maxing every week. And it doesn't cost a whole lot, and they're fun. And as you can see, I'm doing pretty well. I got 8 of my 20 through last week, so almost half. So I've been profiting pretty nicely. I only have 10 so far, but I'll have 18 after those for week 5 drafts. Some of the guys that I like. Ownership, we'll go to there. Lamar and Winston are the 2 quarterbacks I like the most this week. Lamar and Winston. Winston 4 times, Lamar 5 times out of 10. Running backs, I love Zeke against the Packers. Love Zeke against the Packers. I mean, they just continuously get ran over. No pun intended, but they continuously get crushed in the running game. So, yeah, we're rolling with that. Not sure why I have Austin Eckler twice, to be honest with you. That's interesting. Playing Denver. Well, Melvin Gordon will be back in the mix. I don't know why I did that. That was on Tuesday, or maybe even Monday when I drafted this. So I already forget what the heck I was doing. But Zeke, McCaffrey, obviously. I must have had the one spot a few times. Maybe, actually, no, Mahomes went one time. I got McCaffrey. So, love Derrick Henry. Fournette coming off a huge week. And even before that, he's still getting minimum 15 to 20 touches a game. So, not much of a risk there. Love Cook every week, but he's hard to get. So receivers, we're basically taking 1st-round receivers. Julio and Michael Thomas, matchup regardless of matchup. And Keenan Allen, same thing. Keenan Allen had a 72-yard touchdown call back last week in Miami, so he's just been killing it. Tyler Boyd, because Ross is now out and because he hasn't really had a huge game the last couple of weeks, I just kind of feel like the do factor with Tyler Boyd. He's 10 of 10 targets here a couple weeks ago, and then he kind of fell off these last couple of weeks. AJ Green's not there. John Ross isn't there. They got Auden Tate opposite of him this week, and I decided to give Tyler Boyd some love in some of these, and that's actually in a 4-man, so giving him some love. But these 2 are big, obviously. Then Boyd, Keenan Allen, Godwin's in there, and Thielen. It's just a hunch. I just did it one time, just a hunch. They're coming off that conversation and all that stuff that happened this week in the Diggs talk. That maybe he's actually gonna get his 8 or 9 catches this week. We'll see. So those are most of the guys I like. I'm probably going to do a little more research before I do these other drafts tomorrow. But I'm still sticking with these 2 quarterbacks where I can get them. And Zeke, where I can get him. So that's it, people. Thanks for following. Tell your friends. Follow the channel. And check out my new website, sportscardseverymonth.com. I'll get you guys out some cool stuff. Have a good night.